Hello friends, I am Anvesha and I welcome all of you to my channel Aspiring Banker Anvesha. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and also click the bell icon to get notified for the upcoming videos. I make videos on English for bank examinations and sometimes I upload videos on quants and reasoning as well. So in today's video, I will be solving a complete paper for IBPS Clerk Prelims and also for SBI PO Prelims. So please watch the video till the end. I'm sure you will get benefited from the video, and this is the most requested video on my channel. Many of you had requested me to solve a complete paper on English, and here I am solving 30 questions for you for your upcoming examinations. So let's begin. In these questions, you have to find out the grammatically incorrect part, okay? First one. In the Black Sea, the earlier arrival of summer. Okay, before that, you can see a part to be highlighted. Okay, this part is error free. Correct. This part is correct. So the error is in the rest of the parts. In the Black Sea, the earlier arrival of summer has resulted in the earlier development of hypoxia as well as expansion of the dead zone area. Okay, in the Black Sea, where in the Black Sea, the earlier, this word, earlier. This word is a comparative degree adjective, right? Comparative degree of adjective, okay? And early is the positive degree of adjective and earlier is the comparative degree of adjective. This means this is an adjective. And what is the work of an adjective? An adjective modifies a noun. So you need a noun after an adjective. But arrive, this word arrive is a verb. And verbs are modified by adverbs. Isn't it? Verbs are modified by adverbs. So this arrive is wrong. Instead of arrive, which is a verb, you need a noun. Okay, so this part is incorrect. This is your answer. So instead of arrive, you need a noun, which is arrival. Okay, arrival, noun. Fine. So option A is the answer. Let's analyze the rest of the parts. Of summer has resulted, has plus V3. This is correct. In the earlier development ends in MENT. So this is a noun. So earlier adjective, this is absolutely correct. Adjective plus noun of hypoxia as well as expansion of the dead zone area. So option A is the correct answer. Next question. Climate change can have a variety of direct and indirect effects on ocean ecosystems, and the exacerbation of dead zones may be one of the most severe. Okay. Climate change can plus V1, this is correct, can have a variety of direct and indirect effects noun. Indirect and indirect adjectives. Correct. On, effects on ocean ecosystems. Effects on what? On ocean ecosystems. And the exacerbation ends in ION, which means this is a noun. So here you have the, this is absolutely correct, the plus noun of dead zones may plus V1, correct, may be one of the most severe, one of the most severe effects, right? This is not given, this is implicit. Okay, so this sentence is absolutely correct, no error. Next question. In 2013, the so-called walkie-talkie skyscraper in London was blamed for reflecting light of its unusual curved surface. In 2013, year, before year, in, correct. The so-called walkie-talkie skyscraper, noun, so the article is present, absolutely correct. Name of a city, large place, so in, correct. Was blamed for. Now this thing was accused, right? Walkie-talkie skyscraper. So was or is or are or were plus either V3 or ing. This should be used, okay? When do you use V3? You use V3 when the sentence is in passive voice. You use ing when the sentence is in active voice. After was, is, are and were. Okay. So here the sentence is in passive voice because who blamed the walkie-talkie skyscraper is not given. The doer is not given. So the sentence is in passive voice. Hence, you cannot use V1. V1 is incorrect. Okay. Instead of this, you have to use V3. Okay. So instead of blame, blamed should be used. V3. So option B is the answer. This is the incorrect part. Next. Okay, before that, let's analyze the sentence once. Was blamed for preposition. So preposition plus gerund. Remember this, very important rule, preposition plus gerund, okay? So here, gerund is given, correct, for reflecting ing. Light of its, this has been used for this skyscraper, which is singular. So this is also correct. Unusual curved surface. Curved surface, noun. Unusual, adjective. So strongly, reflecting light of its unusual curved surface so strongly that it for skyscraper, correct, melted. Why melted? Because the sentence is in past tense, and that's why V2. Melted parts of a jaguar parked on the street nearby. Okay, so whenever you have a street and something is parked, then you have to use on. Okay, if you are walking, then also on, because you do not go inside the street, but you walk on the street, right? On. So this is correct. Option B is the answer. Okay, if you look at this word strongly, this is an adverb, and so this is also an adverb which is modifying this adverb. Adverbs modify verbs, adjectives and adverbs. Okay, fine. Okay, now this is used so strongly. Okay, so strongly that it melted. What is it doing? Very strongly, it is reflecting light. Okay, next. As the world heats up around us, much people take solace in the idea that their indoor lives may not be affected much by climate change. As the world heats up. So this is in simple present. Okay, world singular. And that's why singular verb heats up around us. Much people. This word people. People is a countable noun, right? Countable noun. With countable noun, you have to use many or several. Much is used with uncountable noun. Okay, uncountable noun. So here much is incorrect. Instead of much, you have to use many. Okay, so this is incorrect here. So much people is wrong. Instead of much, many people. Many people take. Now people is a plural noun. So plural verb take. Take solace in the idea. Idea is a noun, and that's why the idea that there is used for people, which is plural. So this is correct. Indoor lives. Why lives? Because many people. Lives of many people. People plural, and that's why lives. May not be affected by, much by climate change. May plus B plus V3. May plus B plus V3. This is the construction of passive voice sentence. This is in passive because by plus doer. So the sentence is in passive voice. So this is also correct. May plus B plus V3. Okay. Fine. So the error is in part B. Next question. By the mid 19th century, sugar, once expensive, had become plentiful and cheap, largely due to slave labor on sugar plantations, which supplied a growing number of American sugar refineries. By the mid 19th century, sugar, once expensive. Sugar is a noun here. Sugar is a noun. Expensive is an adjective for the noun sugar. What kind of sugar? Expensive sugar. So this is an adjective. Had became plentiful. Now please remember this rule, very important. Has, had, have. with these three, always V3 verb should be used. Third form of the verb should be used. Okay. Now the forms of the verb become are V1, V2, V3. The forms are in V1 it is become, in V2 it is became, in V3 it is again become. Understood? So here had plus became is wrong because became is V2. What do you need? You need V3. V3. Okay, so become should be used. This is wrong. Okay, so instead of became, it should be become. Option B. Okay, had become plentiful. Had become plentiful and cheap. Now this plentiful and cheap, these are adjectives. For which noun? These are adjectives for the noun sugar. Okay, so sugar has three adjectives here: expensive, plentiful, cheap. Okay, largely. This largely, this is an adverb. This largely is an adverb for which now? For which verb? This is for this verb become. Okay, due to denotes because of, reason. Slave labor on sugar plantations which supplied. Now this labor, the slave labor supplied, which supplied a growing number of American sugar refineries. Okay, so in this question you have to rearrange the sentences to form a coherent, meaningful paragraph. Coherent means what? Meaningful paragraph. Okay, so this is a question on para jumble. Okay, so from this para jumble, you'll get 5 questions. So I'll not go to the questions because the questions are very simple, like which of the following is the first sentence, which of the following is the second sentence. I'll not go to those questions. I'll just solve this para jumble and show you. Okay, fine. So let's read the sentences. Australian students are scoring lower in international tests than before, while sedentary behavior and mental health issues are on the rise. So Australian students, they are getting less marks, right? They are scoring low in international tests, and the sedentary means what? Without any movement, stationary behavior and mental health issues are growing. Regular physical activity is linked to improvements in physical and mental health, including anxiety and depression. So regular physical activity, that is exercise, is linked. That is, this is related to physical and mental health, including anxiety and depression. So people who are active, they will not suffer from physical and mental diseases. But only 14% of Australian children get recommended 60 minutes of physical activity per day. Okay, so Australian children do not get proper physical activity or adequate physical activity. They do not get. It can also improve cognitive functioning such as attention and memory and academic achievement in children. It can. What can improve? Physical activity can improve. Now this is a pronoun used for the noun regular physical activity and also is also present. Okay, so I had discussed about noun pronoun pair. If you are following me regularly, then I have discussed this, and if you haven't followed that session on para jumble, then the link is given in the description box. Please go to the video and watch the session on para jumble. Okay, so noun pronoun pair, this means the noun should come at first and then the pronoun should come. Also, this is also a link. Also denotes, also is used to give additional information. Okay, so here if you look at this sentence, regular physical activity. Regular physical activity is linked to improvements in physical and mental health. It is used for physical activity. It can also improve cognitive functioning. Cognitive means brain, functioning of the brain. Okay, so QS is a pair. In Q you have the noun present, physical activity. In S you have the pronoun present. So noun pronoun pair. So QS will come together. Okay, it can also improve cognitive functioning such as attention and memory and academic improvement, academic achievement in children. So this means what? Physical activity is very much required. Now, if you look at the sentence are, but, this gives us a contradiction. Only 14% of the Australian children get the recommended 60 minutes of physical activity per day. This is contradiction to which sentence? R is a contradiction to Q and S together, because in Q and S it has been said that regular physical activity is very much important, but R says that 14% of the Australian children do not get adequate physical activity. Okay, so R is a contradiction to Q and S, so R should come after Q and S. QSR. Okay, after that, the per day, and they spent 70% of the school day sitting. And because of this, and what is the result? What is the result of this thing? That they do not get physical activity. They spend 70% of the school day sitting. What is the result of this? The result is that Australian students are scoring lower in international tests than before, while sedentary behavior and mental health issues are on the rise. This is the result. Okay, and this result is what? This is the problem. Okay, the main problem is this. This is the problem. This is the problem. This is the result, the consequence of the problem. Consequence. Now, when you talk about a problem, consequence of the problem, and after that you have to talk about the solution. The solution is given in T. One way to improve academic outcomes. What is the solution to improve academic outcomes and health is to add more movement to the classes. Then more movement, physical activity should be added to the classes. So here this should come together. Which one? This S, and after that S is the problem. Consequence of the problem is, result of the problem is P, and solution is T. So SPT, sorry, not S, very sorry. It is R. It is R, not S. Okay. R, P, T. R is the problem, P is the consequence, the result, and T is the solution. R, P, T should come together. So R is already here. So P, T. So this is the final arrangement, Q, S, R, P, T. Okay. Now in these questions you have to join the sentences from column 1 with the sentences from column 2 to make a meaningful sentence. The sentence should be grammatically correct as well. Okay. Now for these questions it is better to go with the options. The first option is A and F. So let's see. Through an amazing process of imprinting, adult female turtles then carefully covers them. Who carefully covers them? The subject totally changes in F. So A and F cannot be joined. BD. The female leatherback turtle which I observed in Costa Rica and which can measure 6 feet at what? 6 feet at height or 6 feet at length. What is the thing? Which can measure 6 feet at may migrate thousands of miles. 6 feet at what? Not given in D. So BD cannot be joined. AE. Through an amazing process of imprinting adult female turtles rides. Turtles, plural noun. Rides, singular verb. So cannot be joined. Okay, wrong. CE. She digs a 3 foot deep hole. She digs a 3 foot deep hole with her back flippers and deposits about 60 soft eggs, comma. CF, CE, rides the tide. Now, if you see comma is there here, comma is present, and deposits is singular verb for she, which is a singular pronoun. Okay, so this is correct. Comma, rides the tide, singular verb, absolutely correct. And also parallelism has been maintained here. Digs, deposits, rides. Parallelism has also been maintained. Rides the tide in and lumbers ashore on a moonlight beach where visitors often wait for hours to see her. So her, she, and then her. Okay, so CE is a pair. Option D is the answer. No need of checking the next option. Okay, next question. First option is AF. Since the description of the fuzzy feathered dinosaur Sinosauropteryx in 1996, paleontologists dinosaurs. Paleontologists cannot be dinosaurs, right? Paleontologists cannot be dinosaurs. So AF cannot be joined. Next option is BE. Many of the characteristics we once thought were unique to birds were common have been inundated. Were common among someone. Yes, among a group, right? So here have been inundated with a still flowing flood of fossil evidence confirming that birds are living dinosaurs. Have been were common what? This is missing here. BE cannot be joined. BF. Were common, many of the characteristics we once thought were unique to birds were common dinosaurs. Birds were common dinosaurs does not make any sense. CD. With so many unique fossils changing our understanding at such a rapid rate, the exact details of when the first birds evolved and which lineage of feathered dinosaurs they originated from are still unclear. Yes, so here you see, with so many unique fossils changing our understanding at such a rapid rate, that there are many unique fossils, and these unique fossils are changing our understanding at a rapid rate. The exact details of what? Of when the first birds evolved and which lineage of feathered dinosaurs they originated from are still unclear. So CD forms a pair. Okay, there is no need of checking the next option. Now these questions are on fillers. Okay, first question. Cheshire junior girls put up a dash fight before losing by a point to Yorkshire at California in a football dash. So this means that Cheshire junior girls were playing football with Yorkshire. So this is a team and this is a team, right? So football what? Football match. This is so very much evident, right? So match is there in this option. So this is the correct one. A very easy question. But let's look at the other options as well. Cache. Cache means a store, a storage. Okay. Deterrent. Deterrent means something that is done to discourage an activity. Discourage. Suspicious means what? Doubtful. Okay. Contraband. Contraband is what? Contraband means prohibited items. Prohibited goods. Okay. Devoid means what? Lack of. Scarcity also means lack of. Okay. So option B is the correct answer. Okay. Let's go to the next question. So these girls put up a brave fight. Through domestic items, dash ceremonies, music and oral histories, we can dash direct relations with past and present African cultures. Okay. So here ceremonies. This is a noun. Okay. Here you have a comma and then dash ceremonies, and between this blank and ceremonies there is no comma present. Okay. This means here you need a word that will modify this noun ceremony. So here you need an adjective. Okay. Here you have can, so you need V1. Okay. So let's see. Through domestic items, dash ceremonies, music and oral histories, we can dash direct relations with past and present African culture. So we will go with the second blank. Okay. We can enlighten direct relations. Enlightenment is done on people. Okay. Enlighten means what? To give more knowledge. To impart more knowledge. So enlighten people. Enlighten direct relations? No. So this is not your answer. We can violate direct relations. Relations cannot be violated. Violate means what? To breach, to break a law. So this is also wrong. We can engross direct relations. Engross means what? Engross means to be completely absorbed in something. Okay, to completely get absorbed in something, which means to give attention in something. So after engross, in should be present. Engross in something, right? So here in is not there. So this is also not your answer. We can explain direct relations with past and present African countries. We can see direct relations. Yes, both these can be your answer. Okay, so let's go with the first blank now. Through domestic items dash ceremonies. Shy ceremonies. Ceremonies cannot be shy. Okay, shy means what? Timid. Right, shy means what? Nervous, timid. So ceremonies cannot be nervous and timid. So this is wrong. So this option is also wrong. So your correct answer is option D. In this way, we solved the question by eliminating the options. Okay, so now let's understand the meaning. So religious ceremonies, music and oral histories, we can see direct relations with past and present African countries. Demure. Demure means shy. Demure means shy. Pious means what? Pious means religious. Okay, religious. Timid means afraid, shy. Yes, so all the options have been explained. Now we will move to the next question. My head rang with pain, but I was alive, and the dash made me want to jump in dash. The dash, so noun should be present. Okay. And the dash made me want to jump in dash. Here also we will go with the second option. Jump in what? Jump in joy? Yes, can be. Jump in catastrophe. Catastrophe means what? Disaster. How can you jump in catastrophe? Yes, so this is wrong. Calamity. Calamity is also a negative word, which means disaster. Bad. Jump in destruction. No. Jump in demolition. Demolition means what? Destruction again. Wrong. So only one option is correct. So option A. Okay. So with the second blank, we could solve the question. Now let's see. My head rang with pain, but I was alive. So my head was aching, but I was alive. And the thought that I was alive, the very thought that I was alive made me want to jump in joy. This means I had no chances of surviving even, but I was alive. Okay. So option A is the right answer. Okay, now let's understand the meaning of the rest of the options. So, downfall. What is the meaning of downfall? Downfall means a failure. Failure. Okay. Debacle. Debacle also means downfall, failure. Okay. Deference. Deference means what? Respect. Respect. Okay. So, option A is the correct answer. Next, the pharmacy dash and dash ingredient in your blood pressure management when it made this switch. Dash ingredient. Ingredient is a noun. So here you need an adjective. Also you have an here. So a vowel sound should be present. Okay. So doubtful, consonant. Dubious, consonant. Incorrect. Important, evasive, enormous. Yes. So now, and dash ingredient in your blood pressure management. And evasive. Evasive means what? Avoiding. Someone who is avoiding. So someone who is elusive. Someone who is running away, hiding. So this cannot be your answer. Evasive ingredient in your blood pressure won't make any sense. An enormous ingredient in your blood pressure management. Now enormous, denotes huge, very big. Now in blood pressure management, a very big ingredient won't make any sense. A very important ingredient will make a sense. Okay. So here important is correct. So option C is the correct answer. Okay. So the pharmacy deleted an important ingredient in your blood pressure management when it made this switch. So the pharmacy made a switch in its blood pressure management equipment, and during the switch it deleted an important ingredient. Chastised means what? Chastise means punished. Okay. Now dubious. Dubious means what? Doubtful. Okay. Okay, fine. Now, next question. There is an dash perception that high profile players make dash managers. There is an dash perception, an, which means fervent and fictitious, both are incorrect. Okay. Now, ardent. Ardent means warm, very passionate, like ardent follower of Hinduism, ardent follower of Buddhism. So ardent means passionate. Okay. Ardent fan of Sachin Tendulkar. Understood? So ardent is wrong. Evasive. Evasive perception and avoiding perception. Perception means what? Thought. And avoiding perception, this is also incorrect. And erroneous perception. Yes, perception can be erroneous. Erroneous means what? Erroneous means wrong, incorrect. Erroneous perception that high profile players make good managers. Managers, noun. So here you need an adjective. So good managers. This is a wrong perception that high profile players will be good managers. No, not necessarily. Understood? So this is the answer. Now fervent. The meaning of fervent is passionate. The meaning of fictitious is imaginary, something that is not true, something that is only imaginary. Okay, fine. Okay, now the meaning of facile is what? The meaning of facile is superficial. So something that is not completely true, something that is superficial. Okay, this is the RC that we are going to solve now. Till now we have solved 17 questions. Okay, 5 questions on error detection, then 5 questions on parajumble, 2 questions on column matching, and 5 questions on fillers. Total we have solved 17 questions. Okay, so let's see. It is something that many of us do instinctively, almost as muscle memory, several times a day. Okay, so it is just our instinct that we do this. Okay, but rarely has it been as important as it has in the last 6 months. So in the last 6 months it has become very important, but prior to that it was not as important as it is now. Okay, amidst the arsenal of weapons against coronavirus, arsenal means what? Collection. Amidst the collection of weapons against coronavirus, so there are many weapons against this virus, like mask, self-isolation, social distancing. One has been particularly easy to overlook, but one weapon, amidst the many weapons, one weapon is there that people has overlooked, and that is what? Hand washing. As the coronavirus emerged as a worldwide health emergency in February, health agencies scrambled to advise people how to protect themselves from the new virus. Okay, so here the meaning is coronavirus emerged as a worldwide health emergency in February. Okay, and from that point the health officials have struggled to advise people on how to protect themselves. Okay, next. One suggestion repeated day after day on news bulletins, adverts and expert interviews was to wash hands with soap in warm water for at least 20 seconds. Now one suggestion repeated again and again. What was the suggestion? To wash hands with warm water for at least 20 seconds with soap and warm water. The WHO published a graphic showing the correct way to wash hands. So the World Health Organization even published a graphic which showed the correct way to wash hands, or how to familiar to anyone who has ever visited a restaurant. How to wash hands. 6 months on, the confused global picture over spikes and localized lockdowns has pushed the hand washing advice to the margins. Amid the growing backlash in some quarters against wearing masks and face coverings, this other silver bullet against coronavirus infection has been edged out of the spotlight. The meaning is that after a few months, positive cases, COVID positive cases increased. Then localized lockdowns started, and amidst all these confusions, hand washing advice nearly faded. Okay. Now, there was a growing backlash. People criticized because of this advice of wearing mask and covering face, but people forgot to acknowledge, or probably the government or the media forgot to give this message that there is one more weapon to fight against coronavirus, and that is your washing hands. Okay, this aged out of spotlight, which means this did not get enough coverage, enough attention. One Ethiopian observational study found that less than 1% of more than 1,000 people visiting hospitals wash their hands in the correct way. That less than 1% of the people wash their hands in the correct way who visit hospitals. Coronavirus chemical makeup can be disrupted by nothing more specialized than cheap soap and warm water. With the help of a cheap soap and warm water, you can disrupt, that is, destroy COVID. Okay. These viruses have membranes that surround the genetic particles that are called lipid membranes. So these viruses, how does the virus look like? Like this, right? These viruses have membranes, and they have an oily, greasy. This membrane has an oily, greasy structure, and this can be destroyed using soap and water. Okay. Dissolving this outer envelope breaks the virus cell up. So with the soap, warm water and soap, you can dissolve this outer membrane of the virus, and with this, this breaks the virus cell up. The virus cell will break, and the genetic material is swept away, washed away and destroyed. Thus, water on its own is not enough to disable the virus. If you wash your hand only with water, it is not enough. You have to use soap. Hand washing's effectiveness has been somewhat sidelined. Sidelined means ignored. Due to the wide adoption of hand sanitizers, either the small bottles people take with them out of the house or the stations people are asked to use when they enter supermarkets and bars. Now, people are not washing hands frequently because they have an alternative, and that is your sanitizer, hand sanitizer. Right? All of you must be using hand sanitizer, but is it effective? Let's see. It is not a bad idea to have something like that in your automobile or inside the front door. These things are good for when you don't have access to a sink and soap and water. When you can't wash your hand, you can use this, but not as a substitute. Okay. Early on in the pandemic, the UK government scientific advice was that people should wash their hands every few hours, despite the fact most of the populace was confined to their homes. Even when you are inside your home, you should wash your hand every few hours. It is not really necessary for those who are mostly staying home during the day before preparing and prior to eating food. Those caring for someone who is suffering from COVID-19 and many other viruses for that matter will probably want to wash their hands more often, especially if they are coming into contact with objects or surfaces the infected person has touched or coughed on. So if a person is looking after a COVID-19 patient, or maybe some other patient, okay, then that person should wash his hand frequently. If you are at home all day and you do not interact with strangers, then washing hands just for the sake of it is not necessary. So if you are confined in your home, and if you are not interacting with strangers, then there is no need of washing a hand. Immediate hand washing after coming into contact with a possibly infected person or surface would be much more effective than washing them at timed intervals. So no need of washing your hand at timed intervals, like wash your hand every 2 hours or wash your hand every 3 hours. There is no need of that. But if you come in contact with an infected person or probably a stranger, then you should immediately wash your hands. Some people have turned to antiviral hand washes, believing them to be more effective than normal soap. So some people think that we should use antiviral hand washes, that they should use antiviral hand washes because these antiviral hand washes are more effective than normal soap. You don't need these kind of things at all, but you do not need antiviral hand washes. A simple soap can do your job. Most of the antimicrobials on the market are in fact antibacterials. They are even not antivirus. Okay. Overuse of these could be storing up problems for the future too. So if you use antibacterials, you will call problems for the future. If you have too many antibacterials in the wastewater, then you have more chance of bacterial resistance. So you will have more chance of bacterial resistance. Then what will happen? Antibiotics will not work on you. All of the other disinfectants we use besides soaps can cause more environmental concerns and cause more problems with resistant bacteria down the line. Okay. Next. So now we will solve questions. Which of the following statements represent the author's views? People have adopted face masks in their lifestyle without much complaint. No, without much complaint is wrong. Why? Look at this part. Amid the growing backlash in some quarters against wearing masks and face coverings, the other silver bullet against COVID has been ignored. So amid the growing backlash means what? Criticism against wearing mask and face coverings, which means that without much complaint is wrong because people criticize this face mask. Okay. Next. So this is wrong. Most people do not need to be told how to wash their hands properly. Most people do not need to be told. Author has never said that most people do not need to be told. Author has said that there had been many adverts regarding how to wash hands. Okay. And even WHO had published a how to regarding correct way to wash hands. Okay. So this is also incorrect. Cannot say this. Hand sanitizers are better than soaps. Author has never said that. Most of the hand washes in markets are ineffective. Never. Author has never said that. Author has talked about antibacterial or antimicrobial soaps, and author has said that there is no need of those kinds of soaps. Okay. Although effective hand washing has been largely overlooked, yes, hand washing has been overlooked as a means to tackle the spread of COVID. This is your correct answer. Option E is the correct one. One has been particularly easy to overlook, and that is hand washing. From here we can say this. Okay. Let's go to the next question now. The next question is, why has the author advocated against the use of antibacterials? So why is the author against the use of antibacterials? It may increase the cost of wastewater management. Author has never mentioned about the cost of wastewater management. Wrong. It may pollute neighboring water bodies. It may kill useful bacteria as well. Author has not discussed about this. It may lead to bacterial resistance and environmental problems. It may pollute the neighboring water bodies. Let's see which one of these two. Okay. So the answer is here. If you have too many antibacterials in the wastewater, then you have more chance of bacterial resistance. More chance of bacterial resistance. So this is the keyword. Okay. So bacterial resistance is the keyword. Okay. So option D is the answer. Okay. Now, all of the other disinfectants we use besides soap can cause more environmental concerns. Okay, more environmental concerns. So environmental problems is also correct. Okay, so option D is the answer. Next question. Based on the information given in the passage, who should prioritize washing hands? So who should wash hands more often? Okay. Let's see. Those who have come in contact with an infected person, yes. Those who take care of someone who is suffering from COVID-19, yes. Those who spend all their time at home, no. Let's see. Here. Those caring for someone who is suffering from COVID-19 should wash hands. Okay. From here. If they are coming in contact with objects or surfaces which are infected, the infected patient has touched or coughed. From here we can say. Okay. Next is, if you are home all day and you do not interact with strangers, then washing hands just for the sake of it is not necessary. Not necessary. Okay. Fine. And before that, okay. So let's see. Spend all the time at home. Washing hands not necessary. Caring for someone who is suffering from COVID patient, yes. Have come in contact with the infected person, yes. So 1 and 2. Option C. Next. It is clear from the passage that hand sanitizers can be useful when we do not have access to soap and water. Can be. Washing hands from water is adequate to kill the virus. From water, no, you need soap as well. Clearly given. Wrong. It is important to wash hands for more than a minute. Okay, let's see. For more than a minute. No. For at least 20 seconds. More than a minute is not given. Okay. So this is also incorrect. This is also incorrect. Okay. Next. Cheap soaps do not work against COVID. No, wrong. It is given that cheap soap, you only need water and cheap soap. Look at this part. Cheap soap and warm water. That's it. So this is also, option D is also incorrect. People mostly prefer soap and water to hand sanitizers. Not given. That people mostly prefer soap and water to hand sanitizers is not given. Okay. So option A is the answer. That hand sanitizers can be useful when we do not have access to soap and water. It is given here. I had drawn something as well. See. Here. Due to the wide adoption of hand sanitizers, now here it is given that it is not a bad idea to have something like that. These things are good for when we do not have access to a sink and soap water. Okay, so option A is correct. Next. Which of the following can be inferred from the passage? Most people may ignore advice that seems intuitive as they believe that only sophisticated methods can work. Okay, so intuitive here means hand washing, because it has been given in the passage that hand washing is intuitive. But we do not know that people ignored the message of hand washing because it was intuitive. Because in the passage, if we go to the passage, then we will see that in the passage it is given that because of lockdowns, because of spike in the cases, in the COVID positive cases, this hand washing went to the back foot. Okay. So that's why it is not because hand washing is intuitive. It is because of the localized lockdowns and over spikes. Hand washing advice went to the margins. Okay. So option A is incorrect. Let's go to the next one. Hand washing may not be effective. This is incorrect. Hand washing is effective. Okay. Next, if we go to the fourth one, people do not pay heed to the guidelines released by the governments. People do not pay heed, which means people do not listen to the guidelines released by the governments. We cannot infer this from the passage. And also do not pay heed. This is an extreme statement which we cannot make because this is an inference. Inferences cannot be extreme. Okay, now the third one, antiviral hand washes. So option D is also incorrect. So antiviral hand washes and other disinfectants may end up causing damage to the environment in the long run. Yes, this is correct. Now let's go to the passage once. Here you will see all the other disinfectants we use besides soap can cause more environmental concerns and cause more problems with resistant bacteria down the line, which means eventually it will cause more problems. Okay, more problems, like more environmental concerns. Okay, next. Overlook. The meaning of overlook is ignore. Overlook means ignore. So closest in meaning. So option C is the correct answer. Closest in meaning, option C. Okay. Anticipate means what? To expect, to predict something. Okay. Accept, you know the meaning of accept. So it is not the answer. Protest, to raise your voice against something, to say against something. Incorporate means to include. Next. Immediate. Immediate means something that should happen right at this moment. So you need an opposite word for this, immediate. Immediate means something that should happen at this moment. Intricate means complicated. So this is not the antonym of immediate. Immense means huge. This is also not an antonym. Delayed. Delayed means postponed. Yes, this is the antonym to immediate. Immediate, which means right at the moment, and delayed means postponed. Okay, now we will solve questions on cloze test. Till now we have solved 24 questions. Okay, so let's see. After thousands of years, a herd of wild bison will be reintroduced to a nature preserve in the United Kingdom in spring of 2022. So after thousands of years, wild bison, herd means what? Group of animals. A herd of wild bison will be reintroduced to the nature preserve in the UK. The reintroduction will take place in a 2,500-acre area called Blean Woods in southeast England near Canterbury, according to a release. The $1.4 million Wilder Blean project, led by the Kent Wildlife Trust and the Wildwood Trust, will release a group of 4 European bison into a woodland in hopes of some of the ecosystem's lost diversity. So these wild bison are being released in hopes of what? In hopes of some of the ecosystem's lost diversity. So the ecosystem has lost diversity, and in hopes of renewing or restoring. This should be the answer, right? Resounding means what? Resound. Resound means echo. So resounding means echoing. Okay. Renounce. Renounce means what? Renouncing, to give up a position. To give up a position. It can be a throne. It can be a position. Okay. Or it can be even a habit. To give up a position or habit. Okay. Denounce. Denounce means to criticize publicly. Criticize. Okay. Restoring means what? Replenishing. To bring back to the original state. So, in the hopes of restoring the ecosystem's lost diversity, so that the ecosystem again gets its diversity, gets back its diversity. So, this is the correct answer. Restoring. Remonstrating means what? Protesting. Okay, so option D is the answer. The hope of those behind the project is that reintroducing the grazers, which can weigh up to a ton. Grazers means what? The animals that graze, that eat grass, which can weigh up to a ton, which result in a thriving dash of different habitat types. In a thriving what? Of different habitat types. So you need a noun. Thriving here acts as an adjective. Okay, thriving means surviving. Okay, growing, surviving, growing, dash of different habitat types. Okay, Missa. Missa means what? Missa means savior. Okay, a person or an animal that saves. Okay, misery. Misery means problems, distress. Okay. Okay. Maneuver. Maneuver means an activity. Okay, or a movement. Misanthrope, a very common word. Mis plus anthrop. So, a person who hates humanity, human beings. Okay, that person is a misanthrope. Mosaic. Mosaic means variety, diversity. Okay, now let's look at the sentence. Okay. Which can weigh up to a ton will result in a thriving dash of different habitat types. So we want different habitat types, which means we want diversity, we want variety. So here option B is the correct answer, which means variety. Mosaic, thriving mosaic of different habitat types. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. Question C. This dash biodiversity boom is likely to occur because the bison are what ecologists called ecosystem engineers. So bisons are ecosystem engineers, and that's why this biodiversity will happen. Okay, so let's see. This dash biodiversity. Predilection. Predilection means what? Predilection means a preference. Preference. Okay. Predominated. Predominated means what? Predominated means to dominate. Large in number. Okay. Predicted means foretold. Predicated. Predicated means to establish a theory. And preempted means to prevent. Right? Now let's see. This dash biodiversity. Biodiversity is a noun. So here you need an adjective. Predilection ends in I-T-I-O-N. This is a noun, so incorrect. Predicted. Predominated. This predominated biodiversity, this dominated biodiversity. No, this is also incorrect. This predicted biodiversity boom. This predicated biodiversity boom. Now predicated, something is predicated on something, so this is also incorrect. This preempted, prevented, this is also incorrect. So option C is the correct answer. This predicted biodiversity. Okay, next, predicted biodiversity boom. Next, D, question D. Apart from munching grass, bison can create openings in woodlands by knocking down small trees which dash the habitat with open, light-flooded patches. Which dash the habitat. Which intersperse. Intersperse means what? Intersperse means to create a variety. Okay. Interfere means what? To interfere into something, into someone's business. So this is obviously incorrect. Intercept means to hinder. So this is also incorrect, a negative word. Interrogate means question, again a negative word. Incorrect. Interpret means to analyze. Okay, to understand, interpret. Okay, now let's see. Apart from munching grass, apart from eating grass, the bison can create openings in woodlands by knocking down small trees which dash the habitat. Knocking down small trees which dash the habitat, which intersperse the habitat, which creates diversity in the habitat. We need diversity, and that is what these bisons are doing. Okay, so option A is the correct answer. Next question, question C. These patches of sunlight can ultimately allow a wider array of plants and animals to dash 2 plus V1. Wider array of plants and animals to dash. To famish, to banish. Famish means what? To create extreme hunger. Banish means what? To dismiss someone or to expel someone. Okay. Perish means what? To destroy. Impoverish means what? To bring poverty. And flourish means what? To grow. Okay, so let's see. These patches of sunlight can ultimately allow a wider array of plants and animals to dash. Now you need a positive word here. So famish, hunger, incorrect here, because here sunlight is present. So plants and animals will do what? They will flourish. That is, they will grow. Okay, so option E is the right answer. Now in this question, a sentence is given with 5 words numbered and highlighted in bold. Okay. From the options, choose the pair of words that should be interchanged in order to make the sentence grammatically and meaningfully correct. This means that this is a question of word swapping. Okay. And this is the last question today, and with this we will complete 30 questions. Okay. The more disposal students have at their words, the more they can make world of the sense. Okay. Okay. The more dash children have, the more disposal children have. This does not make any sense. Okay. So the more, you cannot place more over here. The more words children have, the more world children have, the more sense children have. Okay. At there, to have something at your disposal. So 1 should come here and 2 should come here. The more words children have at their disposal, the more they can make sense of the world. That is, they can understand the world more. The more words they have in front of them, the more they can understand the world. This is the meaning. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 should be interchanged. So option D is the correct answer. Okay, so with this we have completed solving 30 questions, 30 out of 30. Okay, So I have given you an example, a sample paper, and you can expect your exam to be a sort of like this. Okay, so if you have enjoyed watching the video, if you think that the video is beneficial, then please like the video and also please share the video with your friends. I have put a lot of effort in recording this video, so please subscribe to my channel and also please share the video with your friends. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.